From sleep paralysis demons like the King Cake Baby, to hitting the random button when customizing your character, these are the worst mascots in sports history. Now, these characters are supposed to be appealing to the audience with a lively presence on the field. You're supposed to be cute and fun so that you're entertaining. Now, the New Orleans Pelicans decided to throw all of these pointers in the trash can. Kobe. The King Cake Baby appears only during carnival season like some sort of boogeyman. I can't even begin to describe this thing. Not only is it ugly, it's terrifying too. I'm pretty sure there are young NBA fans who are scared of Mardi Gras, because you know what that means? The King Cake Baby representing the Pelicans crawls out of its cave. To think that a mascot with baby in its name would be cute, but nope, strong nope. This guy has the face of the baby you'd see in Courage the Cowardly Dog. And he wears diapers. Of course he does. What makes this monstrosity so bad is that his giant head doesn't suit his lanky arms. I mean, if the baby was a little chubbier, it'd be less scary. Seriously, what were the Pelicans thinking? Luckily, this thing only appears during Mardi Gras as per tradition. That doesn't mean the initial design for the actual mascot isn't any less horrifying. Pierre T. Pelican has the soulless eyes you'd see in a movie. You know those animatronic haunted animals from Five Nights at Freddy's? Yeah, old Pierre could easily pass as something from that game. Just thinking about the old design gives me the chills. How are the kids supposed to watch their favorite team play a game with that thing running around the court? There's even a video of a young fan scared to interact with the mascot. New Orleans fans are so lucky that they redesigned Pierre because this new look is much better than the old ones. Now all they need to do is something about that baby. Scary mascots aside, there are also some very lazy designs. The Celtics logo is of a leprechaun spinning a basketball while leaning on a cane. How hard could making a character with that be? Well, the mascot is a leprechaun, but there's no costume. I'm being 100% serious right now. Fans in a subreddit have mentioned how they're not happy with the team mascot because it's just some white guy. The mascot is a lanky man with leprechaun clothes on. He's got a basketball vest with the word Lucky printed on it. Honestly, the costume's cute, unlike a certain nightmare fuel of a baby. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't have problems breathing like other people in big furry costumes. Speaking of such, wait till you see what this baseball team makes a poor guy wear to every match. Raymond from the Tampa Bay Rays looks like a Sesame Street reject. Unlike the show, Raymond isn't loved that much. Clubs usually use an animal or something creative they've made up that's inspired by the team's name. This dog-like creature has no connection to Tampa, Bays, or Rays. There have been some complaints about the lack of energy Raymond brings to the field. At least do your job right. The origin of this hairy guy was when Tampa Bay asked the fans to pick a new mascot. The description? Something that looks like a blue sheepdog that sneezed so hard he exploded his snout. Weird way of saying your team sucks. I'm kidding. Why would I call the Rays a bad team when they're third in the American East League? The team giving fans a decision to pick the one thing that represents the club is pretty generous. Sometimes a member of the audience makes it their job to be the mascot. But not all of them are fun to have around. Boltman from the San Diego Chargers is cool, but he's also a huge douche. If you thought the last few mascots had bad costumes, get a load of this guy. It's as if handsome Squidward pumped a ton of steroids in him and wore shades. That smile's very unnerving, to say the least. You gotta hand it to him though. Boltman is an unofficial mascot for the NFL club. Imagine being this devoted to your team. The fan ended up retiring from the position. Good for the team, because if he kept ruining their games, they'd be losing a lot of fans. If you want to know a mascot who's gotten in trouble, wait till you hear what he did. Miami Heat has been under heat because of Bernie. Who's Bernie, you ask? Just this orange guy with a big green nose that looks like one of those characters from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Energy-wise, he's alright. Pretty standard mascot doing mascot things. But someone really needs to teach him some boundaries. In an exhibition game in Puerto Rico back in 1994, Bernie dragged a woman from the audience. The word drag is not an exaggeration. He held her by the legs and brought her onto the court during timeout just to dance. The woman ended up being the wife of a federal judge. Oops. Imagine the look on his face when he found out. The mascot faced 20 years in jail after being charged with aggravated assault and battery. He was also sued for $1 million due to the emotional distress she went through. Fortunately for the team, they settled for 50 grand. But that's not all. In March 2015 and March 2017, fans fell victim to Bernie's performance and ended up getting injured. Is this the same guy under the mask? Why haven't they fired him? Bernie brought a whole new meaning to worst mascot ever. Back to terrible costumes. The FA Cup is one of the most exciting tournaments of the football season. You have teams like Manchester United, Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool, and so many other English teams competing for gold, or in this case, competing for silver. I mean, that's what the mascot is, a silver cup. That's it. And don't get me started with those shoes. It looks like a rejected design for the lamp Genie lives in from Aladdin. It seems like the English teams in football are known for bad mascots. Why's that? Well, Southend United FC fans are pretty embarrassed by the guy who represents them. Meet Sammy the Shrimp. Once you look at this old design, you'll think of one thing: Patrick Star on drugs. Also, something you'd see in Smiling Friends. I just know the shrimp from that show looks exactly like Sammy. A pointed head with giant disproportionate eyes is what the team looked at and thought to themselves, oh hell yeah, oh hell no. Luckily, he's got an improved redesign that's easier on the eyes. At least Southend got the animal right. Billy the Marlin doesn't even look like a marlin. He looks more like a bloated penguin, or like Mordecai from Regular Show. The Miami Marlins are one of those clubs that get laughed at behind their backs by other teams. In this case, imagine a squad of puffy and bloated costumes snickering and pointing at poor Marlin. Blame it on the marketing team. The worst part is that he's got a pretty fun vibe on the field. Too bad the poor design ruins it all. Lastly, I want to talk about an old mascot representing a cricket team. I know it's not fair to include characters that have been changed or been removed from current seasons, but hey, this one's really funny. Bomber from the Kent Cricket Club is just terrible. Formerly known as the Kent Spitfires, they chose Bomber as their mascot. What's bad about the person with the last thing you'd want to hear in a populated arena as a name? Well, it's a guy just like in the Celtics, but he's got wings for arms and a plane for a body. The worst part, his shoes have wheels. Not only is Bomber making a terrible fashion statement, it's also kinda sad to see him running around like that with his arms out. I'm so glad they changed the mascot to Victoria and Victa, two horses that perfectly symbolize the team. So, from sleep paralysis demons like the King Cake Baby, to hitting the random button when customizing your character, those were the worst mascots in sports history.